Hey there, I'm Mr. Left Turn and welcome to my favorite race shop. Just like last December to celebrate Christmas, this year I'm throwing Halloween into the mix by doing nothing but Halloween related videos, whether they're specifically about the holiday or related to the horror genre. And what better way to kick off the celebration of All Hallows Eve by reviewing the very first MLP episode centered around Nightmare Night and the first episode since Friendship is Magic Part 2 to have an appearance by Princess Luna. This was an episode I've always wanted to review and I can't think of a better time than now. Is it as good as I remember when I first saw it in 2014? Well, grab your wooden stakes, load your silver bullets, and kiss your cross necklaces, and let's find out. We're diving straight into Halloween with Luna Eclipsed. One thing that's interesting to note about reviewing a Season 2 episode is how refreshing it is to see the slapstick humor again. Watching Luna Eclipsed really made me realize just how much the humor has changed since the earlier seasons. There used to be an abundance of slapstick humor, and now it's more about facial expressions and character humor. While that's perfectly fine and I enjoy the comedy we get now, I do miss the slapstick that earlier seasons held, especially since it was very good slapstick humor. Luckily, we got a little bit of it in Fame and Misfortune, but I do wish we could get just a little bit more of it. Heck, the episode is also full of hilarious facial expressions and reactions, most notably from Pinky and Fluttershy. I also loved Pinky's obsession with getting free candy, and who wouldn't love free candy? Spike criticizing the mayor's costume, the running gag with no one but Luna recognizing Twilight's costume, and the obvious birth of the fun has been doubled meme. Now, onto the episode itself. I was really glad to see Princess Luna in the show again since it had been 27 episodes that we last saw her in the series premiere. Back when I first saw Luna Eclipsed, and even now, I find it odd that the writers waited this long to show her again. Her reformation was a huge deal, and you'd think maybe we would have gotten an update on her or one or two small appearances throughout Season 1, maybe even a grand showing in The Best Night Ever, but nothing until a season later. This is a minor nitpick, of course, that I can forgive because I thoroughly loved her new design over her original one in Friendship is Magic Part 2, though that can be explained that her new appearance was the result of her magic slowly returning her form to normal, which after being trapped on the moon for 1,000 years and having been defeated by the elements of harmony, I can buy. Even though I'm positive Celestia brought Luna up to speed on what had happened since her banishment, I loved how Luna was still stuck in the past personality-wise, using older dialects and speaking in her Royal Canterlot voice, which was marvelously hilarious and glorious at the same time, while addressing her subjects. And you know, it wasn't just funny, it gives her another obstacle to overcome of trying to be liked or at least respected by the citizens of Ponyville, only making it more difficult to adjust to a new Equestria. It adds to her sympathy factor when her attempts are foiled because of how hard she's trying with Twilight and eventually Applejack's help, yet the town's ponies fail to see her and are still blinded by her atrocity of the past, which I believe is what the animators were trying to illustrate by having Luna laying down in the statue's shadow in the moonlight. She's still stuck in Nightmare Moon's shadow. A few minor nitpicks I have are the town's ponies and Pinkie Pie. I understand that the town's ponies were frightened of Luna, but they seem to borrow from the high-strung and easily manipulated idiocy of the SpongeBob townfish in Luna Eclipsed. Even when she lost her temper at Pinkie's accusation that she was trying to eat Pip, I understand she was frightening to them, but I'd like to think a few town's ponies could have stood up for her beyond Twilight and AJ. I don't know, I just never really liked this trope of easily frightened citizens in cartoons unless it's an alien invasion or freaking Godzilla stomping around. As for Pinkie Pie, yeah, even though she revealed she was only scared of Luna because sometimes it's fun to be scared, I think maybe she went a little overboard with it. Sure, the writers utilized the rule of 3 so the joke didn't grow stale, but since it was hindering Luna's efforts of winning over the town's population, to me it kinda defeats its purpose with how sad it was making Luna. Yes, I like that Luna had to work hard to accomplish her goal, but Pinkie was kind of having fun at someone's expense, which is kind of pushing that line of tragedy and comedy. But I have to concede that it led to the realization that everyone loves a good scare now and then, and that was the key for Luna finally winning over Pinkie and the kids, so it's not too bad. Something I found intriguing about Luna Eclipsed is how it portrays the difficult nature of trust. Luna's attempts to fit in and just be liked are extremely relatable, both to people who are new to a town or school or those struggling with their attempts to win back the trust of people after a mistake, even if it's not as horrible as trying to overthrow an entire land to be a tyrannical ruler. And I genuinely felt bad for Luna when something backfired on her due to compromising situations she was found in. This only shows how bad it is if people only subscribe to one idea or theory and don't bother to find all the facts by letting their fear or personal biases cloud their judgment. Thankfully, Ponyville did eventually give Luna a chance with Twilight and AJ's insistence that she is nice and even had fun playing games with her, but then was caught in a compromising situation again by Pinkie, which sadly blew out of proportion with the town's ponies. I think this could be showing that even if you do win over the trust of some, it's still easy to lose if some people either haven't made up their mind or are easily swayed due to what they believed at first is deeply ingrained within them, and that any evidence supporting this is enough for them to lose that trust. It's difficult to have faith in someone you either barely know or are aware of what they've done in the past, especially if that's all you see and even choose to see, so I can 100% fathom why everyone except Twilight and AJ after a quick pep talk from Twilight was wary of Luna, especially on a night where Nightmare Moon supposedly returns to eat ponies, and if Luna hadn't made very many public visitations yet. Then again, her first appearance on Nightmare Night, although amazingly dark and awesome to us, was terrifying to everyone except Twilight, so she didn't start off on the right hoof, which shows first impressions are important. Even so, if you're finding it a little difficult to trust someone who is trying to make amends for what they've done, you should at least give them a chance to see if their intentions are honest or not, or neutrally wait to get the facts straight instead of holding a personal bias or fear as the truth, which is what the episode was trying to convey, and it's a lesson I absolutely adore. Well, Luna Eclipsed definitely still holds up even after all this time. It was so refreshing to see the classic slapstick comedy of the early seasons, and I loved seeing Luna's grand return to the show in her very own episode. The fact that she had to shake off the ways of the old days and get out of Nightmare Moon's shadow was a great goal for her to work for, even with a little help from Twilight and eventually Applejack. And trying to fit in is something a lot of people will have difficulties with. Pinkie was a little bit of a roadblock, but it wasn't too bad, and it's not like she was intentionally sabotaging Luna. I enjoyed the lesson of reciprocating friendship if someone is offering you their own friendship, or at least be kind in return, which will help someone trying to adjust to a new life. Even if you don't want to be the best of friends, showing kindness in return can go a long way. And the subtle portrayal of how hard trust is was great too, even if that wasn't the writer's intentions. Luna Eclipsed is definitely a green flag episode and one of my favorites of season 2. But what do you think of the episode? Let me know down below and join me for my next video about the celebration of Halloween. I'm Mr. Left Turn. I'll see you when I get back from the track.